Hello, gorgeous. Hello. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. I wanted to come on here for a couple of minutes. I do have to run really soon because it's the holidays. It's Christmas Eve, so my family celebrates Christmas on starting on Christmas Eve. So I'll be heading home to Brooklyn very soon. Right now, I'm still in the Jersey City apartment that some of you know about. I'll be sharing a video about my stay here soon. But all of that aside, let's take some time to chat a little bit. Um, this video is something that's been on my heart for some time, and it really started speeding up my desire to talk about it when I had a conversation with one of my students. And we were chatting about balancing love and career. And if you're anything like us who grew up in America, being a woman in America with these ideas of being a girl boss, CEO, and all of these ideologies that we've been presented with our entire lives as women, about our femininity, our womanhood in this more modern day society, which has been a blessing. It has been a complete and utter blessing to have the freedom, the ability, the resources, the opportunities to go after our desires. So that has been a blessing, and I will not discount that. In addition to having some of us having a more maybe traditional culture or traditional religion that we have grown up with. So there's been these two ideologies or these two different sets, schools of thought that we've been presented with. So how do you balance those two when one is about progression, one is about productivity, one is about success and career and money, and the other is about family, relationships, love, going the path, more traditional path of starting a family as a woman. Both of these ideas, both of these ways of being, both of these ways of living are very important to me. And as it turns out, my student as well. So how do we really just come to bring these two thoughts, schools of thought together, these two ways of living together, this lifestyle together? Because essentially, I want both things, right? I don't just want to choose one or the other. They're both a huge part of who I am inside, right? I grew up hearing all these messages about all the things women can do, but I also grew up watching women live more traditional lifestyles. So I want both of them. I want it all. And I'm sure some of you might feel the same exact way. So how do we do that? Like, if we don't necessarily have a roadmap already in place because we might not have seen that role model to us growing up, or it might not be presented more openly and transparently online. So we really have to create that roadmap for ourselves. So me personally, while I'm going on this journey of these two paths and converging the two, I have picked up a few things that have been really helping me to merge those two paths together. So I'd love to chat a little bit about that and what are some of the things that have been really helpful. Um, so I want to start with the idea of giving yourself permission to rest and to focus on self-care, because either path you go on, there's going to be difficulties. Either path you go on, there are going to be roadblocks, there are going to be challenges that get presented, both physical and emotional challenges. And therefore, imagine doing both. How many more opportunities for obstacles pop up? And that also means opportunity for growth, opportunities for being able to learn about yourself. So for me, one of the things that has been really important, especially since I graduated college, I completely burnt out in college. I did so many things that by the time I started my full-time job, I was just completely and utterly drained. So I had to learn really quickly early in life what happens when you burn out, and therefore how to not get myself to that point. So giving yourself the permission to rest, like, it is okay to take a break from working. It is okay to take a break from starting that business. It is okay to take a break from dating. It is okay to take some space from your partner in your relationship. It is perfectly okay to spend time on yourself and to spend time giving yourself the self-care that you feel in your body that you really need. And some of us might not be in touch with our body to be able to get the signals that we need time to rest or that we need time for self-care. So some of us might need to schedule that in our calendars. And all of that is 100% okay. I also want to talk about being in flow and having pure acceptance of the way things are in life, right? When you're in flow, you're kind of just letting things go as they turn out in life and accepting the results of that, right? So for me personally, I'm balancing love life, career, but also business, right? So that's also something that's near and dear to my heart. And you can lump that into career, but the way I'm using the word career here means essentially like 9 to 5 or doing something that the thing that you studied, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm separating career and business. So for me, I've got all three of those, right? Like, pretty much going at full speed in all of these areas of our lives. So what I have come to understand is that I don't need to have them as three separate entities in my life. I can merge them into my day, each and every one of them. So I wake up in the morning, for example, and I might spend an hour thinking about business or responding and communicating with people that I care about in my life, right? And then after that, I spend the hours of, let's say, 9 to 5, just to be standard here, focusing on career and propelling that forward. And then after work, spending more time just taking the rest, like I mentioned, taking the time to really just sit in your own company, in your own essence, so that you can replenish that energy. And then maybe before I go to bed at night, spending an hour or two working on business, working on love, working on whatever it is that is on my mind that is most present for me that day. So the last thing I want to suggest or just express, the thing that has been really instrumental for me to be able to merge these multiple areas of my life, what feels now like beautifully, being able to do it beautifully, which didn't necessarily feel so easy a year ago, 2 years ago, etc. But it's so much easier now, especially in the past 6 months. And that is to do inner work and move energy, right? So I've been journaling for as long as I can remember. I started journaling at 10 years old, essentially, when I was in elementary school. One of our teachers, I don't specifically remember like the subjects. I think he was like one of those teachers that taught all subjects to their classes. And so he would have his journal every now and then. Can't remember if it was daily, if it was weekly, but that's how I first learned about journaling. And I recently sent him a Facebook message thanking him for introducing us to the concept of journaling, because it has been life-changing. So I've been journaling for many, many, many years now. If you go to my home in Brooklyn, you'll see stacks upon stacks of journals. I buy pretty journals. I like to buy pretty journals. Well, what feels pretty to me. So for example, this is one of my most recent journals. It says, "Be still." Essentially, this is like taken out of the Bible from Psalm 46:10. And I like to buy these because at the bottom of every page, there's like a little verse from the Bible at the bottom. So I find it very inspiring to journal and then read whatever message God has for me at the very bottom. So I've been doing that for many years, but what I haven't necessarily been doing is doing it intentionally with I guess, very specific prompts. I've been journaling just what comes up for me. I've been journaling about kind of like documenting my journey, processing things, but now I journal more deeply. And that's one of the things that I have been working with one of my coaches on doing, how to go a little bit more deeper into myself. And so this is the inner work that I'm talking about. And being able to do that has allowed me to move energy where I might have stagnated in one of these areas of my life because maybe I haven't been really exploring what emotions come up for me, let's say in business. And because I'm not exploring the fears that are coming up or not exploring the limiting beliefs, I might not move as quickly, or I might stagnate, and therefore there's no movement of energy in that area of my life. So being able to do this inner work and moving the energy around in my body, in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit has been super, super, super helpful for allowing me to create and craft space for business while I still work in my career and in my love life. So that's been great. Same with love. Like, one of the things that I've been doing is visibility, right? Like, how can I be visible in a way that feels delicious to me, right? Like, um, visibility in the sense of when I go out into the world, how am I emanating this feminine aura? How am I expressing my femininity by the way I smile at someone, by the way I say thank you to someone when they open the door to me, for me? By the way, I feel so grateful and appreciative when someone at work helps me with something. By the way, I feel so grateful and appreciative when a guy that I'm dating takes me to a beautiful place and I just enjoy the music. I'm enjoying the texture of my clothing. I'm enjoying the person's company and their masculine presence. So being able to move the energy in that area of my life looks like really sitting with myself after an experience of appreciation or gratitude and really understanding why I appreciate that thing, really understanding what it does to me, what it does for me as a feminine woman in this world, to be able to have all of these people in my everyday life provide something of value to me. It could be something tiny, but it could also be something big, like a lot of guidance, like career advice, career help, or anything really. Like if you're moving, for example, and having someone help you with that, that's a moment of gratitude that you might experience, and being able to process that and really sit with that experience more deeply and move that energy around so that the next time you feel grateful, you're able to express it more freely. You're able to express it more deeply. You're able to really just sit within that gratitude and let it just flow out of you so beautifully. Okay, well, that's all the time I have right now. I am going home now to celebrate with my family. Happy holidays to all of you. If you are someone that's just like me and balancing these multiple areas of your life, you've got this, babe. We've got this. Keep me updated on how things go in your journey, and I for sure will keep you updated on how things go on mine. So that is all. Talk to you later. Bye.